GitHub also. So you will have those example as well with you.
Yeah.
So let's directly jump into the Spring Boot application. Okay. And how do we start the project? I'll tell you here. So if you see here, just go to the Google, write here Spring Initializer. What you have to write? Spring
Spring.
So you see here, there is one website called Spring.io. So you have to choose initializer here. Here, what you have to do, now you have some interface, and what are exactly it is, I will explain you one by one. What kind of project we want to create Spring Boot? We want Maven project. So Maven is nothing but it's an build tool. Gradle is nothing but it's also an build tool. In previous day, you might heard about anti-script. You remember, if you remember anti-script, this kind of word. In all technology, we used to get Ant. Nowadays we use Maven and Gradle. Okay. In this course, we will extensively working with Maven because Maven is more popular than Gradle. Maven community is bigger than Gradle. So we will targeting our side from our side Maven. You clear or not? Who knows Maven about Maven, or who don't know about the Maven? Please let me know. I will explain that part also.
Yeah, it is better you explain because I know Maven, but how, I mean, completely forgotten about it.
Okay. Do you know Sukhvir Maven?
Yes, our project is in Maven, right?
Yes. So do you know Maven?
Not much.
Not much. Okay, no problem. This training, we have to cover all things from basic to advanced. So Maven, I'll tell you what is Maven. So first, Maven is a build tool. And you are thinking, what is build here? What is build tool? So build tool means whenever the application you see here, I have one application and running on server, my company server. Let me show you. You see here, there is one website running on this Google, right? And it is working fine. It was hosted on somewhere in port, right? So but ultimately, if you see the backend code, that backend code written here in Java only, okay, from backend side. But how it is running on this server? So there are some way to deploy your application on server. You have to create some files, deployable files. It creates deployable file, and those deployable files can be jar files or can be war files or can be EAR files. So what are these files and why do we need these files? First of all, I'll tell you, whenever you have a folder called, you remember, we usually, let's say I have one folder like this. There is one folder called deploy. I have here, let's say I have an Kafka screen folder here. So in the Kafka screen folder, I have how many items I have? These are the items I have. Can you see these items? So these are the screens, photos. Okay. Now it is in one directory, but you want to send somewhere. What you will do? What usually you do? Right click on this. You go to this zip, and you have to create like this one, add to zip, right? And you create some zip folder, right? Now all this information in this zip folder, right? We have created one zip file, right?
Yes.
And if I will give this file to you, what you will do? You will unzip it. Now let me copy this one and put it in somewhere else. The concept is everyone knows, but I'm explaining again because I want to relate this thing to another thing. Let's say I have an folder called, not here, I will put here public. I'll paste here. Let me create new folder. Now someone has provided you this zip file. Can you see this file .zip?
Yeah.
And if I want to extract it, what I will do, I will go to again and I will extract here. So whenever I extract here, all those data is already being there, right? Now I have all those records, correct?
Yeah.
So in same way, now we are creating multiple classes, packages you see here, and I want to share this classes and packages with server. What I have to do? I have to create packaging. I need to packaging here, right? I have to package here. How do I package Java program? Using Maven. So Maven is a tool to package your classes and folder in single zip file, like zip file. And in Maven terminology, we don't call it like zip file. We call it jar file. We call it war file. We call it ER files.
That's fine.
It's clear? The concept of Maven.
Yeah.
And what is full form of this file? It's a Java archive, it is a web archive, and it is an enterprise archive. And why these three are required? Whenever you have complete backend code, then you will create jar file. It means you don't have UI code inside it. No JSP, no any kind of JavaScript code, no JS file. Then you will go for only jar files. Okay. Your packaging will be jar. If you have like web contents means JSP, JS JavaScript file, then you will choose war files. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say in your code, you are managing database connection through the server, the connection pool, each and everything you are managing through the JBoss or any other kind of application server. In that case, you will choose EAR files.
Okay.
This is clear or not? Just let me know, because it's very, very important concept to understand Maven for you.
Yes.
And
So
Maven
basically,
not only
it packs all the code and send it to the server.
Sorry, Sukhvir, please say your voice is not clear.
So basically, it packs all our code into jar, var, or ER file and send it to the server, right?
Yeah, on server, what we will do, we'll copy this jar file to the server, and server read this file, read this content, and unzip it, and all the files which are present in this jar file, it automatically converted into dot class, and that deployable dot class can be run on Java program here like this on server.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the one responsibility of Maven. Second responsibility, to manage the dependency. Manage dependency. What does it mean, manage dependency? Means if you want to add some libraries, so you know, if you see here in programs, there are few libraries here. Can you see here libraries? These are the libraries. While creating this Java project, we have some predefined libraries, and if you see their extension, those are also jars. Can you see here?
Yeah.
So those are also jars, and this is provided by the Eclipse plugin. Can you see here? All are coming from Eclipse plugin.
Yes.
You can see properly, then I will explain.
This will have by default this library, system library?
Yes. And from where it is coming? So you must aware, when you install Java on your machine, there is JDK also called, it comes along with JDK, right? So JDK is nothing but JDK is a Java development toolkit, and JDK team has created for us this predefined components. So you see here JDK compiler, JDK Dynamo-Link, JDK HTTP server, JDK. Can you see in my screen?
Yeah.
So it is coming when you install JDK, it by default it comes through the JDK only.
So I mean to say this JRE system library by default it will come?
By default
Or...
it will come. When you install JDK, JDK contain JRE folder. JRE is nothing but it's a runtime environment. Okay.
Now, where we are seeing this one? Is it Eclipse?
Yes.
Okay.
In the Eclipse only. So in the JRE system library, Java SE15 we have installed. In under this, we have like lots of these libraries, and we did not create this library. It is coming
Okay.
from the downloaded version. Okay.
Okay.
So same thing, Maven also manage the dependency. Like when you create a big project, then you required so many dependency, like REST API dependency you need, then you need JSON data type dependency you need, then you JUnit dependency you need. So for all those dependency, we have to include in the project. What we have to do, we have to tell to Maven, there are some tags like this dependency. Okay, there you have to write the name of dependency. Let's say I'm going to use Spring dependency, so I have to use Spring Boot starter module something. Okay, in the dependency section. So by means, we are telling to Maven that please use this dependency for our future development, for our project development. So Maven will get to know, Maven will download this jar for you through the Maven server, and you will have that dependency. I will tell you how it will works. Let me show you something, but now just try to understand how it works internally and why do we need Maven here and why it is important. So it managed dependency means whenever you need some extra capability in your application, you have to write dependent in the dependency section. And there is one file which called pom.xml. You have to put all configuration in this file. Configuration. This is clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Sukhir, do you have any doubt?
No.
No, look.
Okay. So we are good to go. Now I'll create one project for us. So see here, whenever I am going to create the project from this website, it will ask me which build tool you are using. So now we are going to use Maven. So I believe it is clear to you why we are choosing Maven. Okay. Now it is asking you on which language you want to build this application. We are learning Java, so definitely we will use Java only. Okay. Other than we have other backend language as well, Kotlin, Groovy, but this session is not for Kotlin and Groovy. So therefore, I'm not choosing this option. Only we are choosing Java. Okay. Now, since we are developing Spring Boot application, so we have to tell to this initializer which version, which font we want to use. So if you see here, by default 2.6 is got selected, means this is the stable version. Version means these are also Spring Boot libraries, but those are snapshot and those are not stable version. Stable version means without snapshot. Okay. So for now, just try to understand this one without snapshot we have to use. Okay. So since we are going to create Spring Boot application, now we have to use some metadata. Means we have to provide some information, group, artifacts, name, description, package name, packaging, and other thing. So group is nothing but your package name. Okay.
So
how do
Alok,
we
sorry to interrupt. So what is the difference between stable and non-stable version? Like let's say 3.0.0 is a snapshot. So does it mean they are still making changes in it?
yeah, it is in still
Okay.
in development and they are adding some new features in it
Okay.
and they will release it. Once they will release it properly, their version will again change. Let's say it's still 2.7.0 snapshot, right?
Mm-hmm.
After some adding some new features, it got changed. So these are the version. 2 means major version, 7 means minor version, and 0 means patch. So these are the version details in Maven. You will see like this. If they are going to change major version change, again it got changed like 2 to direct, it will change from 3.
Three.
So
Yes.
and if it is like small changes, like minor changes, then it got like 2.80 next version.
Okay.
Okay, and once they completed this module, they will remove snapshot from this version and they will release like this 2.66.
Got it.
So now in the group we have to give the package name. So package
currently
name
which version is used? 2.
Current 2.66 we have selected here. We can also use this one also 2.5.12. This is also without a snapshot, but this is seems like this is old version. See here, its minor version is 5 and its minor version is 6. So which is the higher number? We have to choose that one only.
Okay.
Okay, because it has like more capability compared to this. It has more features, and this is the latest one.
And what do you mean by M3 and M2?
This is something like M2 and M3. Usually we don't use it. This is like for Maven community. They are doing some changes. M is represent for Maven community. So this is not for us actually. The
Okay.
developer who is going to contribute in Maven, for them this is for them only. Okay.
Okay.
For now we have to focus on this version. So here in the group, I'm going to give some package name like let's say I'm going to give pom.ats. Okay, this is my parent group, and here I will give you the artifact. Artifact means your project name, so you can keep it like ats training. Okay. Now you remember I explained you the packaging part. You remember I was talking about the packaging. What kind of packaging do we need from Maven? Either jar or either. So now we need jar file, because now we are not working on UI side. We are just creating the API side. So it's completely backend project. So we need only jar side. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the version of Java. Which version do you want to work? You can use 8, you can use 11, 17, 18. I mean, I would recommend go for 8. Okay. Because again, 8 is more than stable than 11, but you can keep it 11 as well. It's not an issue, but better to start with 8 version, Java 8. Okay. This part is clear, everyone?
Yes. And which version you are using in your office?
We are also using Java 8 in our office. Sukhbir, I think you are also using Java 8, right?
Yes, Java 8.
Okay. So I think this part is clear for everyone. Now our main part starts from here. If you see here right hand side, there is one called add dependencies, right? You see here add dependencies.
Yes.
When you click on it, add dependency, now we have to tell Maven what kind of dependency we need while creating this project. So I'll add some starter project from Spring, some dependency from Spring, which will help us to create API. So I'll add those dependency here. So if you click on this, you will see this list of. Okay. So first I will select the Spring Dev tool, and I will explain you. Let me add all those dependency and I will explain you one by one. H2 database, then Spring Web because it has RESTful API. Then I have added here. Also, we will add later on MySQL one. I think for initially it is fine with this dependency. So what I have done, I have added 3 dependencies here. If I'll explain you one by one. So first thing you will see here is Spring Web. Can you see this Spring Web? Why I have added this dependency? Because I wanted to create REST API. To create REST API, you need this dependency from Spring side. Okay. You need this capability from Spring side. Therefore, we have to add this dependency in our application.
Okay.
Second thing, database, when you want to insert some data into your database, you need some database, right? Like Oracle, MySQL. I have chosen the S2 database. Why I have chosen the S2 database? Because it is a in-memory database. You don't need to download anything additional tool for your database. You don't need to do any configuration. It will be running in your memory, in your program memory. So whenever you start your application, S2 database got created, all table got created according to your application, and you can save those record in your tables. Okay. Any doubt?
So can
Another
you
one.
please repeat the SQL? So
Yes, Sukhvir.
don't we need the SQL server then?
Yeah, if in your development mode, we actually need it. If you want to persist that data into your system for all time, you have to use MySQL or Oracle. Okay.
Yes.
But you don't want to maintain database. You don't want to care about the database. You are only focusing on the Java side. You just need this database, see your records whenever it's going to insert or not, whenever you are fetching this record or not. So for that, you can Java provide you one capability, like you can create in-memory database also. So whenever your program will run, this database temporarily this database will be created for you, for your application, and those record will be inserted. And then you can, whenever your application is running and up, you can use this database. Once you close your program, this database automatically got closed and all data will be erased.
Okay.
So this is something like temporary database.
So with this, can we make changes in the database or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We will manipulate database, we will update database, we will insert, we will get everything, all operation like normal database, we will do it here. Only one
But
difference
temporary.
is only one difference is this will be like temporary, not permanent.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So our changes will be temporary in the database.
Exactly. Whenever you start the application, only that time the changes will be available. That time the functionality will be available. Once you stop server,
Okay.
this database will stop and erase all data automatically.
Okay.
And this is the dev tool. Dev tool is nothing but you remember when you make some changes, every time you have to restart your server. When you add something in your class, then you have to stop server and restart the server, right?
Yes.
But using this dev tool, you don't need to use stop and restart server. It's live reload. See here.
Like
Once you make changes,
currently we are using in the VS Code, right? We do not need to stop the server. We just hit the control S and it's loaded.
exactly, Sukur, exactly. Same thing like VS Code.
Okay.
So shall I create now?
Yeah.
It's clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now I just put here generate option. Okay, because we have done all setting, we have added all dependency which we required. Later on we can also include more dependency in our project based on our requirement once we will increase our size of project. Okay, so later on what I will do, later on I will remove this database from SQL database or maybe Oracle database later on. For now I'm just going with this dependency because we are good with this configuration. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll click on generate. So see here, there is one folder got created and it's a zip folder, right?
Yeah.
And I'll go here, I'll copy it and I'll go to this folder. I can paste here. Now we have to unzip it. Extract all you can choose. Okay. So now we have this folder. Okay. If you open this folder, you will see this Maven configuration. POM file you got created. It got created automatically. I explained you in that POM file. POM file has a configuration of the application. Okay. So POM file got automatically generated. Rest of the things you don't need to worry about. I will explain in ID. Now you have to open, once you open this folder, you will see the pom.xml. So wherever the pom.file is located, you have to choose this file, this path, and copy this file, this path only. Okay. Now you have to go into ID, close this project, close everything now, close all. Now here in file, you have to go in file. There is one option import. Okay. You have to click on import. Now in this wizard, you have to write Maven like this. You see your existing Maven project, right? Existing Maven project means we have downloaded one project from initializer. Now we will choose this existing Maven project. In the root directory, we will give this path, which we have copied from that folder, and I'll click on the browse. It will automatically take the pom.file here. You see here.
Yeah.
And I have to click on the finish. So now it's importing project here. You see, it's importing our project now. It's done. If you open this folder, this ATS training we have created from initializer. So now the structure of project is completely different, unlike this project. See here, you can compare.
Yes.
Now, first thing you will see here it's Java 15. Here is Java 8. Can you see here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have chosen this one, Java 8. Therefore, now we are seeing Java 8. Second thing, this project has pom.xml because we are using the Maven setup. So if you open this pom.xml here, now you will see the all configuration, and I will explain you what are these configuration, actual configuration. So first thing, this is the XML file and it comes from Maven. So Maven maintains this tag by default from itself. And in this file, you are seeing, because this is the Spring Boot application. So as a parent, we are using Spring Boot starter here. And you remember we have chosen this version 2.66. So now
Yeah.
the
Yes.
version also we are seeing this one, right?
Yeah.
And you remember I given my package name com.ats, also that information here. The project name also you can see here. Now see here, in our project, automatically the version got created. 0.0.1 snapshot. You remember we were talking about snapshot.
Yes.
So since it's very beginning model in development, now it's in development. Therefore it is in snapshot. Okay.
Okay.
And we have not added any major and minor functionality as of now. Therefore this version is 0. Here also 0,
Yeah.
here also 0. Once we will create most of the things here in this project. What we will do, we will release this version with 1.0.0 and we will remove the snapshot. Okay, our version will also got changed. Clear?
Yes.
Also the description of project, which was already like in demo project for Spring Boot, we can change it anything. It's up to us. And then Java version, it is important because we are using Java 8. So it is here, it has mentioned Java 8. Okay. Now coming to this dependency section, which is very important. Here you remember I added 3 dependency from my side: web, DevTool, and S2 database. Correct?
Yeah.
So if you see here, those 3 dependencies are available, right?
Yes.
But along with this, you will see this one extra dependency, which we did not add, right? This is the testing dependency here. So if you go for Spring Boot project, Spring impose you whenever you create your module, you have to write test cases as well. So by default, it comes automatically. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. So what is
Okay.
testing? What is the scope of testing? The scope, if you see here, it is test. So it means it will not run this code. This dependency will not being used on server side. Only the server side will be using all these these two dependencies. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the build, and you don't need to worry about it. It is maintained by the Maven. So once you will start practicing all those things, you will understand what is Maven, what is plugins. So for now, just understand this is being maintained by the Maven. These are the plugins. Maven needs some plugins to run the Spring Boot project. So this got created by Maven itself. We don't need to worry about this part. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
So
think I
let's say
addressed
we
all
need
those.
to
Yeah,
add.
yeah. Go ahead.
So let's say we need to add one more dependency. So can we
Okay.
add directly here without to go to the website again?
Yes, we
Okay.
can edit. We can edit.
I mean, can we modify this XML file, XML file?
Yes, sir. Renu. Every time you have to modify. Why I am saying like this? Since we have only added three dependency as of now, but in real project you will see more than 100 or more than 50 of the dependency in that application, because the
No, no.
application whenever the
Directly we can change in this POM XML, or we have to go again into that, what is that? Spring Boot and all that we have.
okay, I will give you that example too. Okay, just bear with me.
Yeah.
As of now, you are seeing three dependency here, right? Four dependency,
Yes.
right? And those
Yes.
dependency where we can see whether we have or not. So if you see here, there is one Maven dependency folder here. You can see here.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you expand it, you will see all those dependencies. See here, Spring Boot starter web, Spring starter, all those dependencies are already being downloaded, right? By Maven
Okay.
itself.
Okay. Okay.
But but let me there are so many things to explain. But yeah, I wanted to give you little understanding.
In
Otherwise,
real time, what we are going to use it, maybe we can take that example most of the time.
so let's say now I'm using S2 database, right? Now let's say we are going to use Oracle database instead of this
Yeah.
S2 database. Now we want to add Oracle database dependency. What I have to do here? I have to go to here, and I need to use Oracle dependency, right? So for Oracle dependency, there is one Maven official website, Oracle dependency. If is Maven, Spring Boot Maven. See here. This is the official website of Maven, correct?
Yeah.
And when I open it, I will see this dependency here.
Oh,
So
okay.
which version I have to use? See here, the usage, this one is downloaded by 35. So I will go for this version because most of the people has downloaded this version 10.0.3. I will click on it. You will see the dependency section here, right?
Oh, okay.
Just I need to copy and paste in my application. Now, if you see here in Maven dependency, there is no Oracle dependency, right?
Okay.
No
Yes.
Oracle dependency, correct? Now I need this Oracle dependency in my project. What I will do, I'll just simply copy
Copy
it,
and
go
paste
to
it.
this here in the dependency section. I can put like this, see, and format this file. Now I'm not, see, our file is unsaved as of now, right? Once I click the Control S, and means I'm saving this file, what Maven will do, that process also I wanted to show you.
Okay.
Here, this is the normal console. If you select from here, Maven console from here, so you can see here, Maven console is also there, right?
Yeah.
And I'll choose Maven console to show you what Maven do when you add new dependency. So still our file is unsaved. Okay. Now I'm pressing Control S. So you will see here some logs from Maven. Let me save it. See, some logs are coming. So what is this logs? First Maven see the dependency for this Oracle, okay? And what happened? It downloaded these forms for us. You see here, downloading first this form, then again
Yeah.
downloaded this form, then again downloaded this jar file, then downloaded this source jar. Okay. Now, if you see here in your left hand side, we must see some jar from Oracle. We should see those jars.
He's saying no, it's giving the error now. It could not download the source for the Oracle JDBC.
Yeah, I think Oracle has some license problem with this. Maybe I can show you MySQL version. Let me download the MySQL. Sukhbir, which database are you using?
MySQL.
MySQL only?
Yes.
Yeah, so MySQL has lots of number, right? Let me download this version. I remove this, save this, so it will clear the logs again. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll clear the console. Again, we'll see this dependency and I'll save it. See, we successfully downloaded, right? Now there is no error, correct?
Then why Oracle has it?
There are something we have to do with additional steps with Oracle. They have some license, like Oracle is licensed version. It's not open source.
Yeah.
But this JDBC and all, it's nothing to do with the license, no?
Yeah, I mean, I will show you the way of downloading the Oracle as well. Okay, don't worry
Yeah.
about that part. For now, just try to understand this concept, what we are trying to understand. See here, MySQL dependency also came here, right?
Yeah.
And now
Suppose if
there
I
is
want to use the existing one, which is already in the library,
existing
suppose
means what?
byte buddy is there. If I want to use the same thing, do I need to copy into these dependencies?
No. If there is some existing one, you don't need to copy it here because
Okay.
it is already being somewhere in the package in Spring Boot starter or somewhere. Okay.
Okay. Now, suppose JSON path is there directly, I can use it. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's clear how we can add the additional dependency. Okay.
Yes.
And it is giving some error because it's saying override manage dependency. So I can remove this version as well because it's coming from Spring as well. So I can remove it. So see here, now version got changed from 2.28. We copied the version here. Earlier it was 2.7, right? Now automatically it's a 2.8 because I removed the version and it is internally pointing to the Spring Boot jar because Spring has their own capacity. Parent module all has those jars, right? This form, if you open, maybe you will find here MySQL or somewhere. No, I think in here it's not there. But anyways, you don't need to worry about the version also. If it is showing some warning, you can remove it always when you add additional dependency. Okay. So let me comment this one because we are not going to use now MySQL one. We have already S2 database. I'm commenting now. We will use later on. Okay.
Yeah.
So this will be there only, but later on we will use it. So hopefully this concept is clear for pom.xml. Okay.
Yeah. Mostly what type of applications are developed using the Java?
Mainly we use nowadays what happened like uh, microservice architecture based application is extensively using now. Now nobody wants to work on monolith architecture.
Okay.
Everywhere you will see the microservices. Here also we will learn the microservices. So
Okay.
microservice means like micro the concept of microservice is like this. First separate your backend layer to front end layer. Okay. Another thing, create one REST API endpoint for one business functionality. Decouple all module with another modules. Isolate every microservice. So this is something like theoretical part. If you see here, it's not in our